I'm just going to try to find a clicker here. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Wow, not a lot of people left here. Well, thank you so much for staying. Please stay. Don't leave me all. I mean, I know this is not the most exciting topic, okay, get it. Advertisement, how much else we can all learn. But, well, the truth be told, advertisement, although it's not the most exciting topic, it is one of the most profitable topics. And this is how we all are getting our users, or not all, but majority of the apps are getting the users to come in, and the majority of apps actually monetize on. So this is the topic that we all want to learn on and to perfect it and to do something that we all can participate in and create something amazing and organic. So, as Oscar said, I'm Natalie Portier, and I'm a Chief Operating Officer of Apodil. And before I'm going to jump into the actual future of the ad networks, I'm going to just give a little quick overview about the recent, the past and the current state of the mobile advertisement. So the first and second generation actually came from the desktop advertisement. It was very simple. It was a very simple waterfall that actually based on the historical data, and we all pulled the data from yesterday, from the day before, from the week before, and based on that, based on the data, we actually built our waterfall. The most profitable ad network would go on the first first impressions, and once they run out, would go to the next, and so on. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just came straight from the desktop, nothing changed. To improve that, some publishers started separating their traffic into several tiers. So the first tier would go to the most profitable ad network, and if it's unable to fill, then it will go to the second and third. So that would actually improve the profit of the ad networks that would be made, and that would improve the position of the waterfall that each of the ad networks is able to get, which was much more profitable. But both of those models actually did not were not great. All of them actually relied on the very inaccurate historical data, and that is not the data that we want to work with, because that data does not provide the information about the future advertisers that are coming in, or the advertisers that just came in today, and we don't know what the kind of campaigns are going to be filling our impressions. So we also don't know the performance breakdown. For example, if you get a $10 CPM yesterday, you didn't know if this is a result of one converting ad at $10 and 999 ad impressions would just go to waste. So you simply didn't know that. That being said, some ad mediations or some ad networks, together with publishers, starting to introduce the static price floors, which are quite simple. It's very straightforward, just like RTB working on, but RTB is working on a CPM basis, we work on a CPI basis. So simply, you set the price floor, and you only accept the campaigns that come and meet this price floor, and all of the other campaigns are just going to be skipped over. This allowed ad networks actually start to participate into such a called model as a flat waterfall. So what it means is, for example, ad network A relies on the historical data, which is shown here in green, and ad network B is accepting the price floor that are set by publishers that are a little different. So in a traditional waterfall being built, ad network A would fill all of the impressions until it runs out of the traffic, of the demand. And then only the leftover impressions would go to the ad network B. But since this flat waterfall being built, then ad network B got a chance to actually enter the waterfall much earlier at the game and get the far higher quality impressions with the far quality traffic. So this model, although still not very accurate, not very efficient, this model actually did defeat the historical inaccuracy, and the networks were able to get multiple positions in the waterfall. The downsides of this model actually were pretty big and pretty serious. Some of the ad networks, or a lot of the ad networks, were so eager to get on top of the waterfall that they were actually bidding and accepting several positions on the waterfall, several price floors, even though there were no competing networks that were competing with them. So they were overbidding themselves and creating the bid inefficiency and slowing down the ad performance a lot by that. So dynamic price floors were introduced next, and this is very similar model, but it just has a has a little difference. For example, when several ad networks do accept the price floors, and a few of them enter the auction at a certain level of CPM, one of them will actually, only one of them can actually fill the impression. Just look at this example. When we set up the price floor at $12, $10, and I don't know what we have, $9 and $5 there, and say you are an ad network with an advertiser that wants to buy impressions for up to $11.30. And so you are too low to actually come into the $12 price floor, but you are okay to come in and fill the impressions for the $10 price floors, which is great. But there is an ad network that relies on the historical data and enters the auction at the $10.20 and winning the best impressions, so the first impressions, the most quality impressions. But you, as a network, are able to pay up to $11.30. So the point is, if you are supporting the dynamic price floors, you are able to see the other networks bid at $10.20, and you are overbidding them by 1 cent and actually placing yourself in the front of the winning bid by 1 cent. So this wins you position, the first position in the waterfall, and pushes and gets you the best quality traffic, basically. So this actually did defeat as well historical data, and it combated the bid inefficiency as well, because you only overbid 1 cent the other networks. But it slowed down the ad performance so much because the mediation would send the requests to the networks one by one, and SDKs of the networks would be all activated at the same time, and the communication on the server side would be too complex to happen, so the depths would be slowing down. Now, all of the things that I just mentioned came from the desktop, or more or less came and performed were just the copycats models that used to work on the desktop, and this is not what we all want to do. This is what, sadly, majority of people in ad market, in our mobile ad market, came from the desktop, and I get that. That's great. And but what worked in the desktop doesn't work in the mobile. It doesn't work at all. There's different ad formats. For example, you can't compare a playable interstitial, a full screen banner on your app with the header advertisement on your website. This is just apples and oranges. It doesn't go together. So why are we building our monetization on mobile ads on desktop, what works in the desktop? That doesn't work. So the next generation will provide the majority differences and will introduce the completely new, unique model that will only work for mobile and not for desktop. This model will work with the ad mediation that will be playing the role of the judge here. And this model will only work if all of us as a unique organism will work together. If the publisher will work by setting up the price floors, if the ad networks and advertisers will work by participating in bidding, and if the mediation will work in communication between one and the other side. What I mean by that? Ad mediator here as a judge communicates on server-to-server side with all of the demand partners they have around. So if you have 30 demand partners, the signal is being sent to them simultaneously at the same time, not one by one. And then the soft bid are being placed by the ad networks. For example, one ad network places a soft bid of $17 CPM, and the second ad network places a soft bid of $15 CPM. And naturally, both of them are great networks with that kind of CPM, but only one of them can win the impression. But if both of them do accept the dynamic price floor, they're just going to start overbidding each other and run out of money. So they won't do it. They won't overbid each other. They will just place their soft bids and stop there. What happens here as the mediation as a judge? Mediation looks over the historical performance and the historical conversions of each of the ad networks. And they notice that ad network A that placed a soft bid of the $17 CPM normally pays 20% less than their soft bid. And the ad network B that placed $15 eCPM soft bid normally performs or pays 5% more than their soft bid. So by performing a simple math, it's easy to see that the ad network B will actually get will get higher profitability to pay more for the winning impression. So the winning impression goes to the ad network B. So how's it going to work? For this model to be able to perform efficiently, an ad network must provide the API, which is going to be OpenRTB API 2.3 compliant, to the mediation, and all the communication is going to happen on the server side, not on the client side. Once the ad mediation performs and decides who's going to be the winning, who's going to have the winning bid, only then the SDK of the winning network is activated and the ad is being pre-cached. And then the winning ad gets displayed. So this model will be exclusively focused on the mobile ads, mobile ad networks, ad markets. No more desktops, and it will provide the efficient and fair bidding to all of the ad networks, no matter what their historical performance is and no matter what their current advertisers are. And because it's all done in real time, simultaneously, it's not going to slow down the ad performance. So this was our vision, and this is what we see, how the mobile market is evolving. But you can learn more at the link provided on the screen, or you can just write to us at hi@appledeal.com, and we would love to help you out more. Thanks so much.
That was great. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Anyone got any questions out there? I'm going to ask one because, well, that's kind of my job. I actually think this is kind of fascinating because what we seem to be getting is a really high level of sophistication in terms of how people are able to sort of manage the portfolio of partners that they want to work with to get revenue for their game. Are we getting kind of to the point where we're running out of like tricks, or do you think this is just the start of more? I mean, I'm particularly thinking of when we start bringing in, machine learning and all this other stuff that's coming in. What are we at just the start of this process?
So that's the thing. We are not running out of tricks. We actually have been so caught in the desktop advertisements so much that we just have been, to this day, have been copying and pasting everything that was working on mobile desktops, on the digital platforms like desktops, and not at all focusing on the unique organism as the mobile advertisement. So this is actually the first step, the babies that we are trying to grow here, and trying to grow it together with the publishers and advertisers. And mediation here is going to hopefully be a revolutionary that's going to bring two worlds together.
Because I think that's one of the things we always assume, that we're ahead of everything in these things because we have such a unique kind of mechanism. I mean, who advertises in their competitor's product? I mean, you just don't do that in other industries, and yet we can, and it's proven to be really successful. And the fact that we actually should start thinking about learning from other industries too, I think that's something which is, for me, a profound lesson.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We should all learn from our mistakes from the previous industries, absolutely. But we should also not to confuse, and we should not be focusing so much on the other industries and just simply copying everything from them. But absolutely, what worked for them should work also in other ones. But sometimes it's simply not true.
We just have to be smart about it.
Yeah. Well.
On that note.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.